Hello and welcome to my research thesis presentation for EDFR 6300. My name is Natalie Holt-Breen. I go to the University of Texas Rio Grande Valley, and I am acquiring my master's in educational technology with a certification of technology leadership and e-learning instruction. So based off my thesis, I have my introduction, and basically it was a question: what are the contributing factors of teachers' usage and or avoidance of online pedagogy paper use before, during, and after the COVID pandemic, and has it changed? The abstract included, with constant evolutions in technology and in lieu of the COVID-19 pandemic, teachers underwent one of the largest educational fluxes towards technology uses known to mankind. Some of the key words that involved within my thesis were technology use, teaching during COVID-19, technology integration, online pedagogy, and the paperless classroom. One of my favorite quotes from Cindy Hook is, "Everyone who remembers their own education remembers teachers, not methods and techniques. Teachers is the heart of the educational system." There are two objectives during my thesis, and one is whether there was a change of educational technology integration during the time of COVID, and whether the influx of technology usage will play a further part in online pedagogy within the classroom based on current teachers' technology habits. Three of the objective focuses were: 1, teachers and students' attitude, self-efficacy, and motivation for online pedagogy; 2, teacher and student support for keeping online pedagogy successful; and 3, online pedagogy after COVID-19. Can sustainability be achieved? Number 1, teachers and students' attitudes. Attitudes can be a leading factor to change, application of use, and availability plays a key factor. 4 different studies, Shin in 2014 stated that internal attitudes are more apt to change positively or negatively depending on the external factors such as pressure to use technology, administration support, and school district support. Schonfield basically stated in their study that the younger grade level students were significantly more positive towards technology usage, and that there was a difference in gender, meaning boys had more interest than girls. Shurgan stated that satisfaction of students with 100% technology learning decreased somewhat over time, and the biggest internal factor was the attitudes of educators, their technologically trained, and their availability for devices provided from the district. Number 2, teacher and student support for keeping online pedagogy successful. External factors determining teachers' usage for technology and online pedagogy and the decreasing of paper within the classroom have both direct and indirect influences. Biebel stated in 2010 that the quality and the depth of the preparation that teachers receive for implementation will be a critical determining factor for the program's success. Shin also stated in 2014 that technology use and implementation into the classroom depends substantially on the vision of the school's administration and their support. And Kashtan stated that collaborative learning projects have become more and more relevant, especially dealing with state standardized testing. And Wafa stated that virtual projects and collaborative platforms have a significant impact to the predictions of the future attitudes to technology and online pedagogy. The third one, online pedagogy after COVID-19, can sustainability be achieved? Basically, the overall focus was the fact that student-centered learning environments, the internet, and information literacy skills have a huge importance in the future of online pedagogy. In 2000, the American Library Association basically changed and stated that one of the key components to the future of technology use and online pedagogy was the ability to find information effectively, critically evaluating information, and the integration of digital information. This plays a key factor in the COVID response relief supplemental act that gave districts the money to purchase one-to-one equipment to help support information literacy, and also has increased or has become a key part of daily teaching and learning routine, which is also strongly supported by the Blackley and Walker's 2015 study. The Lee study in 2008 showed about a number of different districts that went to one-to-one devices, and they basically stated that laptops help them, meaning the students, with their daily assignments and in the classroom homework, and has increased their overall computer knowledge and skills. The last study that was performed in 2015, districts that support and allow teachers access to different techniques and instruments have a higher success rate in technology usage and technology integration, including supporting online pedagogy. So the methodology within my research was in mixed methods, meaning that it was combined both qualitative and quantitative different areas. The mixed method research, my own research, taking the information that I have learned through all the different articles and journals that I read, I decided that it would be best to include my own research. And what I did is I aimed to investigate the concepts held by Massachusetts teachers, K through 12th educators, before, during, and after the COVID pandemic, in the specification of how online pedagogy, technology training, and the use of paper changed during the course of the pandemic. So very interesting findings. The population and electronic survey was given out to the readership of the established Massachusetts Teachers Unite Media Group, which has approximately 25,500 members, and 121 members voluntarily participated in this study. The goals of obtaining this data, the goal of the survey was to compare the different factors affecting teachers' use of technology training, and the use of paper before, during, and of course after the pandemic, and the attitudes after the pandemic, including how will they plan to implement online pedagogy in the future. My results analysis were very interesting. Let's go over those findings together. First, I asked what grade level do they teach, and as you can see, I went elementary, middle, high school, and college level. I had 3 different levels participate, and mainly it was elementary that had the highest. The region, I broke down the region of Massachusetts from western, central, northeast, and southeast. And as you can see, that the majority of the people who did the survey were from the northeast, secondarily from the southeast. The question was given out of what best describes your school year up until now. 100%, so almost 32% were full remote, and in this area, it said that basically that they were full in-person learning. The majority were hybrid teaching, that is 1 plus 2 days a week, and having at least 1 day as remote. The question was stated, what is your skill level with technology before the pandemic? Meaning that 0, you had next to none, 5, meaning that you were an expert, and as you can see, the majority were in the 3 to 4 area. The interesting factors that stated that what is your skill level now, meaning during the pandemic, 0 meaning none, to 5 being expert, and as you can see that there's tremendous growth now of technology training within the state. How well did your district provide technology training before the pandemic? 0 meaning next to none, and 5 being too much to handle. As you can see, the majority is in the 1 to 2 area, 2 being the highest at 32.2%, meaning that there was some offered. The same question was then asked again, how well did your district provide technology during the pandemic? 0 being none, 5 being more than what they could handle. And as you can see, there's some tremendous growth going from the 3 area, which means that there was probably the perfect amount, to the 4, meaning that there was a substantial amount. Then the question was asked of how much paper did you use before the pandemic? 0 meaning that was 100% paper, and 5 being that it was 100% technology. As you can see in the 2 area, 45.5% was more leaning towards more paper usage than less technology. And then the same question was asked again, how much paper usage do you do now? And interesting enough, 43.8% are 100% technology use with 0 paper. So after COVID-19, do you plan to implement the use of paper during your classroom? Again, as you can see that the 46% say that they plan on using both. Another question is, how do you feel that digital lessons engage the students? And 63.6% say no, and 36.4% say yes. So some of the conclusions and research trends, I have 4 of them. Let's start off with the first one. The first one states that internal factors such as teacher attitudes, technology competences, and pedagogical beliefs play a key factor in the success rate of online pedagogy for the future. There are also some external factors as district and administration support pressure to use said common technology practices will also play a key factor. The third one states that many teachers have also evolved their practices to tailor to individual student needs, gain valuable technological skills, and have evolved and developed new practices. Number 4, beneficial aspects have been seen with some advantages to our students and teachers and their technological skills, resources, and self-advocacy and collaboration have been key components and trends within this research. So what I have learned during this whole course through reading multiple different case studies, journals, and articles, and also running my own research, I have basically come that even coming from a research background, I had no idea that there were so many different types of research involved in education. That there's a huge amount of math that is involved with this. And then that learning how to do research is as important as the research itself. The second key component that I have found fascinating is that how to blend mixed methods of research from pre-existing research into my own research has been tremendously helpful, and that many types of research design methods that are and how to incorporate them into my research methods have been fascinating. I certainly thank you for watching and appreciate everything that I've learned during this time.